Hey guys, it's Ash, and Supercell just released information about new game mechanics and changes to the game, hoping that it will bring about more balance and diversity to the game. They also stated, quote, "We especially look forward to improving the dev team's communication to players with this effort." And that's great. One of the biggest problems to this major gaming company was their lack of communication with their players. So it's great to hear that they're willing to improve on that. So in this video, I want to go over all of these changes and also give you guys my interpretation and opinions of these changes. Now, please keep in mind that I have not tested these new changes. These are simply my unbiased opinions of the changes. And also keep in mind that we have yet to hear more news of the upcoming update that involves a new Dark Troop that could regain the balance of these changes. So first, for the Town Hall 11 changes, Grand Warden's Life Aura and Eternal Tome range reduced slightly. The Grand Warden's massive ability range and unique AI have made him a unit where placement doesn't matter as much as it should. A slight reduction in his range should help make Clash's newest hero a bit more challenging to place and play effectively. I agree with the attack range reduction, which can often be very cheesy and save a player from a loss, as the Warden could be the last troop targeting the Town Hall or targeting a bunch of buildings to luckily save the attacker. I don't like the reduction to Life Aura and Eternal Tome, as that's my favorite thing about the Grand Warden. When you decrease his Life Aura, you're making players clump up their troops again to take advantage. And I just don't like players who just clump all their troops in together and attack in just one direction and just pray that their troops go straight for the Town Hall. Not to mention, although the Grand Warden is an excellent hero, his power is warranted by the difficulties of defeating a Town Hall 11 base. It used to be easy, but with the nerf to level 3 witches and Eagle artillery buff, I thought that Town Hall 11 was made a lot more balanced. And for someone like me with the max Town Hall 11 base, fighting against other max Town Hall 11 bases is very difficult even with maxed offense, especially for people like us who play fair. Next, for Town Hall 10 and above changes, the Inferno Tower multi-mode acquires new targets faster. The Inferno Tower multi-mode retargeting delay was initially added a long time ago due to the overwhelming effectiveness against witches. With the latest witch level in armies and donations, however, speed increase is needed to help bring the defense back in balance with even larger hordes of skeletons. Okay, this is great, but I don't agree with this 100%. First, the main reason to buff the multi-target Inferno seems to be Supercell's way of increasing diversity again. How? Well, it's just a bad idea to have a single target Inferno against Town Hall 11s because of level 3 witches. So it's great that by buffing multi-target Infernos, you may only need one multi-Inferno to stop these witches, which will bring back the use of single target Infernos again. But they are just nerfing witches even more. What was the point of bringing in level 3 witches if you basically nerfed them back to where they were a few months ago? Not only that, this just makes witches a much less appealing troop for Town Hall 10s because they're now stuck with an inferior level 2 witch and no Grand Warden. While I'm not a fan of simply spamming a bunch of witches to win, they are still the best answer for punishing Town Hall 10s with large open compartments. Town Hall 10 and 11 players are less likely to find each other in multiplayer. Now that more players have progressed to Town Hall 11, we can make adjustments to matchmaking that will result in less Town Hall 11-10 matchups. Note that players in Champion League and above will not be affected. Okay, I guess this is fair, no one likes to be bullied. Next, for Town Hall 9 and above changes, all skeleton hit points reduced. Skeletons should be a fragile unit to overcome their inability to survive damage by sheer numbers. However, their hit points were just a sliver too high, preventing archer towers from destroying them with a single arrow. In some cases, the hit point decrease will make sure that archer towers stay effective against skeleton hordes. Skeletons spawn from witches no longer trigger traps. One of the Clash of Clans development values is depth. This means that it should take well thought out armies, strategic deployment, and mastery of troop behavior to achieve the best results. If we find a single troop, a single spell army with a single deployment strategy, Earthquake and Mass Witch, semi-reliable 3-starring maxed out defenses, something is out of balance. Sometimes simple HP and DPS tweaks can solve the issue, but sometimes more is needed to bring units into balance in the right way, without making them obsolete. This was the example with the Hog Rider before we introduced the 1.5 times damage from giant bombs. Rather than simply making the unit too weak to be useful at all, this extra gameplay twist required Hog Rider enthusiasts to play with more skill to avoid traps to pull a sweet 3-star Hog Rush. In a similar way, making skeletons not trigger traps will leave Mass Witch armies vulnerable to an abrupt end via traps, unless attacker carefully charts out potential hazards or uses more diverse army to clear the way ahead. This is an excellent way to balance witches by making those giant bombs play a much bigger role. I know as a base designer, ever since the whole charade of level 3 witches 3-starring max bases left and right, I was scratching my head for weeks thinking of the best way to stop these witches. Even placing wizard towers next to giant bombs along with multi-infernos, it didn't help because the skeletons triggered the bombs and the eternal tome protecting the witches. However, in my opinion, this is all we need to nerf the pesky level 3 witches. Why the need to buff the multi-inferno? Sure, this pretty much destroys the whole mass witch strategy, but it also pretty much destroys the witch. What is her purpose now? I can see people completely neglecting her instead and just use more witches. Not only that, buffing the multi-inferno also makes it tougher to farm against Town Hall 10s and also makes Hog Riders and Valkyries much less appealing option as if they weren't being used enough. So yeah, let's not completely get rid of the witch because she does play a critical role defeating bases with large open compartments. Goblin level 6 has been moved to Town Hall 9, was Town Hall 10. This gives more option to Town Hall 9 farmers. Level 5 goblins were just too weak and die quickly from splash damage, so level 6 goblins will make things more interesting for Town Hall 9s. Still, goblins can be very cheesy and don't require much skill to farm with. And I know many ways how level 6 goblins can easily steal all the resource from a Town Hall 9, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. I can already see a lot of people complaining about how unskilled goblins are and how they're having problems defending their loot. Not only that, I would hate to see an unskilled farming attack strategy overshadow the more skilled attack strategies. Expo levels 2 to 4 damage increased. Once upon a time, the Expo was the most menacing defense in Clash. Now with ultra tanky giants, golems, and lava hounds, Expos could use a bit of a boost to help stay relevant at later levels, especially as Town Hall 9 balance hinges upon them. The Expo previously rode just under the Archer Tower's DPS per Town Hall level, but these changes put it slightly over. This was pretty overdue, but yeah, Expo needed a buff. However, this also makes defenses more tougher at Town Hall 11. So I'm hoping whatever the new Dark Troop is, it better balance the defense with offense at higher level play, as otherwise the max Town Hall 11 is going to be very difficult to handle even with maxed offense. For Town Hall 8 and above changes, the Valkyrie damage increased, hit points decreased. We're trying to win a place in people's armies with one of Clash of Clans' least used troops. A general DPS increase to Ian's a prospect, but the big difference is below and is balanced by the hit points decrease. Valkyrie starts attacking much faster after reaching her target, give her a try. Valkyrie is a unit that runs in deep and hits hard, positioning herself dangerously, often recklessly to maximize her spin attack damage. However, her wind-up speed has been so long that often groups of Valkyries spend more time waiting to attack and dying than actually dealing damage. With this change, the Valkyrie will launch into her spin much faster once she reaches that prime positioning, making her a much snappier, more reactive and nimble troop. Well, in my opinion, what made the Valkyrie a great option is not her power, but her bulk. Her power was fine, the problem was that she just died too quickly because she has a tendency to walk in the line of fire because her AI, which makes her want to position herself in between multiple buildings and expose herself to defenses. However, I'm intrigued by the much faster attack speed as that was also a very big problem with her. Obviously, I'm just speculating here and I have yet to test her out. Still, the thing I liked the most about her was her high HP, allowing her to often shield for many range attackers and also recover back with the heal spell. Wizard Tower levels 5 to 9 hit points increased, greatly increased at later levels. Wizard Towers are a sturdy and reliable source of splash damage early on in Clash of Clans because of their huge HP to DPS ratio, but this rapidly falls off in the mid to late game even as armies get bigger and stronger. By Town Hall 9s and 10, Wizard Towers collapse like a house of cards. Despite looking like a huge mountain, a significantly higher hit point scaling will help keep the Wizard Towers relevant on defense even into later game and bring them better in line with the Cannon and Archer Tower hit point buffs we've already done in earlier updates. Buffing the Wizard Tower. Again, that's also nerfing witches even more. So yeah, it just seems to me that they just want to get rid of the witch. Just remove her from the game. Not only that, anytime you're buffing splash defenses, you're also making farming harder. So yeah, I don't see a need for this. Defending troops but not heroes flee from poison spells if they are standing idle. Poison spells are geared towards giving your army an advantage in troop versus troop combat, mainly by reducing enemy speed and providing a steady HP burn. However, it's typically more effective to just lure defenders one step out of the clan castle and drop 1 or 2 poison spells on their head to avoid the whole confrontation. Not only is this boring and time consuming, it makes clan castle defense more of a formality by attacker than a strategic consideration mid-battle. Lightning will still remain an effective method for dispensing of idle defending troops caught off guard, but now attackers will have to engage defenders directly to reap the benefits of the poison spell. This is a cool concept and will definitely bring back the diversity of Clan Castle defense. However, again, more buffs to defense. I'm not really worried about my Town Hall 9 account because this really helps balance Town Hall 9 wars. However, I'm worried about my Town Hall 11 account because all of these changes aren't helping with my offense. I want more options to 3-star Town Hall 11s. Yes, I want to be able to fairly 3-star Town Hall 11s in wars. What's the fun of 1 or 2-starring bases to win wars? And you also have the big issue with the rise of cheaters using third-party programs. They are becoming more and more common now, and it's just infuriating because of my clan, a clan with lots of max Town Hall 11 players. We face these cheating clans about 2 times a week. For Town Hall level 5 and above, all Dark spells brewing time decreased to 10 minutes, all Elixir spells brewing time decreased to 20 minutes. The Clash of Clans team is always looking at ways to make playing easier, faster, with less downtime. Spell brewing time is obviously the first bottleneck here, but there is still more than that can be done in the future. Okay, so far this is my favorite change. Waiting on spells to finish is one of the biggest nuisance to the game. Now, for all Town Hall levels, battle time limit reduced to 3 minutes per attack once again. In Town Hall 11 update, we played a bit too cautious with the battle time limits. There were 3 main reasons why we changed it to 3 minutes and 30 seconds. The play field was expanding, the number of buildings or walls had been increasing over many Town Hall levels, and the Eagle Artillery could be tackled by tactical pre-strikes. However, monitoring this situation post-update, it turned out that the extra 30 seconds of battle time wasn't really needed. Bringing the time limit back to 3 minutes will help bring back shorter and tighter battles for all players, and was especially requested by the war community. I'm pretty sure that was requested by a lot of Town Hall 9 players that felt that they didn't need it. But this pretty much completely destroys the notion of dismantling a Town Hall 11 base with a Kill Squad or Archer Queen walk. Again, just increases the difficulty for Town Hall 10s and 11 players. Revenge attacks award star bonus and league bonus rewards, a long requested player feature. Enjoy. Okay, even though I never used the revenge button anyways. New building constructions can no longer be cancelled. Upgrades can be still cancelled. This change is mainly to prevent the intentional building and selling of high level defenses during clan wars to get an unfair advantage. Okay, that sounds fair to me. So yeah guys, thanks for listening to my opinions, but I'm more interested in hearing what you guys think. So please comment below on what you guys think, and maybe we can have a great discussion together. So thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys again soon. Later.